Hello YouTube, Layer Size 17 here, but you can just call me Travis, and welcome back for another collection update. Not much to say, so let's just jump in. What we have going on in the background is Running Wild. This is their album Under Jolly Roger, probably my favorite album by the band. It's funny actually, Running Wild is a band I just recently got into maybe a couple years ago. Obviously was immediately like, what was my problem, because this is a rad band. So yeah, if you haven't checked out Running Wild before, listen to the background or just, go check them out. Alright, I've got three things to show you, so not too much to show compared to maybe some of the other weeks, but that's cool because you got some cool stuff to show. Alright, first up, this is a record or album, I got CD, that I got to show, I think it was Ross Hodo is the video's name. I'll put a link in the description. I don't think I've ever said, I link everything that I talk about. I want you guys to be able to hear that stuff, so I want to make it easy for you. Links in the description of all my videos. Anyway, Ross, watch his videos. Like I said, link in the description. He was the first one, I think, who showed this, and since then I've seen countless other people show it as well, and I finally got on board and got my own copy, and this is the debut from Extremity with their album Extremely Fucking Dead. This is put out on 20 Bucks Spin out of Washington State, so that's pretty cool. This is a 2017 release. There is the back. This features some people you might know. Aesop Decker, who was the drummer the latter period of Agalloch. Also, Shelby Lermo, who I'm not really familiar with, but he was in a band called Nastrum or Vastrum. I think it's a V, Vastrum. And then Marissa Martinez, who is from a band called Cretin, which I've never heard Cretin either, but I'm at least aware of the name because I like that name. Anyway, this is some super pummeling death metal. Just like super catchy riffs, really just like savagery just occurring constantly. It's interesting. I actually get a really big Carcass vibe from this, like Necroticism era. Like the riffs are a lot of times really catchy, and I think the tonality of the guitars, both with the riffs and particularly with the soloing, it kind of reminds me of Carcass. I don't know if necessarily the music is Carcassy. It kind of really isn't. Maybe it is a little bit, but I think the tones of the guitars remind me of Carcass a lot. Just to digipack on the inside with some credits and stuff. But yeah, this record is just like brutal, just brutal. I pretty much just listened to this all day today. Pretty much, literally only this. It's funny. In past years, I have really enjoyed kind of like sprawling epic albums that go on for a really long time. And for whatever reason this year, I have really enjoyed albums that are like in the 30-35 minute range, kind of just like get in, do your thing, and get out. And this album actually only clocks in at 26 minutes. We got a 50-second intro track, and then we got 5 tracks of just like smashing. Just 26 minutes of smashing. So yeah, if 26 minutes of smashing sounds like a good time to you, definitely check out this Extremity album, Extremely Fucking Dead. Alright, next up, another shout out to a guy who I like to watch, Eli from Dark Hymns from the Cold North. He recently did a couple of videos on Black Sabbath, going through their discography and talking about which albums he liked the most, etc., etc. And it kind of got me thinking, you know what, I'm kind of a metal asshole and never got into, really, I bought the first, let's stop blahing. I bought like, only the albums I have by Black Sabbath are up through, I can't even think what the album's called now. I'll just pull my stuff out. Why not? Black Sabbath. How do you spell Black Sabbath? Wow. Oh, here we go. Yeah. Technical Ecstasy. That's the one I couldn't think of. These are the only albums I bought. It's their first ones. So I'm not like a Ozzy guy or anything. I'm not like Ozzy's the only singer of Black Sabbath. I just, for whatever reason, never moved beyond this. And so anyway, after watching Eli's videos, I was prompted to kind of be like, yeah, I don't really know why I never continue on with Black Sabbath. I should continue on. So the first one up is I decided to go in order. This is Never Say Die by Black Sabbath. This is the last one that Ozzy did with the band, and it shows. This is a 1978 release. This version is interesting because it's the only one that's different. It's a super, I think it's 2016 actually, even re-release by Rhino in Warner Brothers, the Digipack. It's funny because all my other, actually no, my Technical Ecstasy is a little different because I bought that one later. But all my other ones are this same Warner Brothers re-release that has like the same notes in like every album. Here's the one from Black Sabbath. And then I haven't even looked at these. Yeah, here's the notes. It's pretty much the same stuff in the copy of Paranoid. So yeah, all the way up through Sabotage, all my releases are like that. So it's kind of interesting to get a different version of Black Sabbath album. But anyway, I could go on with that, but let's move on. It was kind of cool to go through this album because it kind of, the liner notes has a lot of like backstory information and a lot of stuff I didn't really know about. It sounds like before this album was recorded, Ozzy quit the band and tried to go solo. They actually had a replacement at one point, but that didn't work out. Ozzy came back and they recorded this album. And this album is a freaking bizarre Black Sabbath album. It kind of almost sounds like they attempted to sort of get rid of their doomy sounds in a little bit of a way. It's very kind of like almost progressive rock, sort of. They try to like throw in a lot of really random stuff. Like the song Breakout has a bunch of horns and stuff. I don't know. This is a bizarre Black Sabbath album. It definitely shows that this is the last one with Ozzy. I will say though, there are a couple tracks I ended up liking. Junior's Eyes, I really like that one. I think the bass by Geezer really pulls the whole song through. I like the song Shockwave, and particularly the end part with the cool little riff by Iommi, and then the little singing part they have going on in the background. I'm not gonna lie, I really like that part. But I mean, they're not really Black Sabbath songs to me. They're just kind of like cool rock songs. But I'm not gonna stop. I'm gonna keep on because next we got Dio joining the band with Heaven and Hell album. So I'm not sure when I'll pick that up, but it'll probably be, relatively soon or something maybe. But yeah, Never Say Die. A weird album, and actually it's kind of funny because the title track, the first one on the album, I already knew that song is the only one I knew beforehand, but I knew Megadeth's version because it's on their Hidden Treasures release. But yeah, Black Sabbath, Never Say Die, weird album. Alright, last up, this is a band that this is the first album I had ever listened to by them. I was sort of half aware of them and was never really interested in their music before, but was prompted to buy this album, and I will explain in a moment. This is Alestorm with their new album No Grave But the Sea. A few months ago, Alestorm released a video on YouTube that was, in my opinion, kind of a dig at Winter Sun. And in the video they had like this kind of joke thing where they had their music and they had dogs barking over the top of it, because that was kind of the theme of their video, was that they were building sanctuary for dogs. They were fundraising for that. And anyway, I thought the video was amusing, and as someone who is a big dog lover, I enjoyed the music with the dogs over the top of it. And I commented on the video, not jokingly, this was not a joke. I said, is it wrong? I said something to the effect of, is it wrong that I would like a whole album of the dogs barking? And it was actually, it was replied to by the band. I think what's the dude, Elliot something, I think is the dude's name. Yeah, Elliot Vernon, I believe is who it was that commented back to me. He said, oh, that's actually bonus disc that comes with the album. And I replied back immediately, sold. So I wasn't really sure what to expect with getting this album, but I was the novelty of the dogs barking disc was what sold me. So yeah, I got this earlier this week, and it's not really my thing. I do like folk metal, but not necessarily folk metal when it's combined with power metal. I'm more of a black metal, folk metal guy. I gotta say that the lead vocals on this album, I think Christopher Bose is the guy's name, is one of the main reasons why this band doesn't work for me. Yeah, just meh. Particularly the song "Fuck with an Anchor." Pass, big pass. I kind of feel like an asshole because the disc with the dogs I actually like better than the original disc, and I think it's because I like the dogs barking over the top of the regular vocals in the band. So sorry to Christopher Bose and Alestorm, but yeah, I don't know. At least if nothing else, I get a smile when I listen to the dogs disc. So if you like something kind of funny and off the wall, a little out of left field, maybe you check out some of these songs with the dogs barking on it. It's kind of funny. Particularly "Fuck with an Anchor." That one was amazingly better with the dogs barking. One little other note I wanted to point out because I thought it was cute. There is a song on here entitled "Bar und Imbis," which I'm not sure. They're Scottish, so I'm assuming it's German maybe, because Scottish people speak English. But yeah, I'm assuming that song is German titled, and anyway, all the ones on the second disc just have 4 dogs. So like, for instance, the first song is called "No Grave But the Sea," and the first song on the second disc is called "No Grave for the Sea," No Grave But the Sea for Dogs. And anyway, this song that has a German title is entitled "Bar und Imbiss for Hund," which I thought was a little cute artistic choice. I didn't show any of this, just got a digipack with the liner notes actually attached to the inside, which is whatever. But yeah, I kind of feel bad that I don't like this that much, but hey, whatever. I do enjoy novelty, probably more than most. So if nothing else, the 4 dogs disc is kind of a fun time. And it's funny, I actually interpret all of these. There's Elliot there. I interpret all these photos they have of them underwater, even though the album is called "No Grave But the Sea." I interpret them as kind of dogs being underwater photos, because I don't know why. So there's the second disc. But yeah, so anyway, Alestorm, "No Grave But the Sea." If you're into like really whimsical folk metal, you might be into this. It just wasn't my thing. It isn't necessarily bad, it's just not my thing. But yeah, and if you like some novelty, maybe check out the "No Grave But the Sea" 4 dogs side of this album. But yeah, Alestorm, "No Grave But the Sea." Like I said, I only have 3 this week, so that's all I have to show you this week. I am going to Portland with my wife on Tuesday. So I might hit up a record store or 2 while I am in town there. If you know of any record stores in Portland that I should go to, you should let me know what those are. Otherwise, thank you for watching, as always. Thank you for subscribing, as always. And as always, please leave comments about anything that I have shown here, or just anything else you would like to talk about. Otherwise, have a great day.